Hello everyone, and welcome to my GMB24 Update official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to a diplomatic source, three nations are very unhappy that they were not invited to a significant European leaders' summit on Ukraine. The unidentified insider told Sky News that the Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, were unhappy not to be included in the high-stakes talks that Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer was hosting in London on Sunday. The insider, who is alleged to be aware of the circumstances, cautioned that Russia would take notice of the absence of the three NATO countries. The Soviet Union ruled over all three countries until its fall and its dissolution in 1991. Russia shares a border with Estonia and Latvia, and Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, which was formerly a part of the Soviet Union, has caused all three nations to fear that they may one day be attacked. According to the outlet, the three nations are among the greatest backers of Ukraine, which has been at war with Russia since February 2022, and they also spend the most on defense relative to their GDP. In addition to NATO's Secretary-General Mark Rutte, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, European Council President Antonio Costa, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, and Italian Giorgia Meloni, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has already arrived in the UK ahead of the meeting. Russia and our publics will clearly assess this that we are sold out by the US, but also by the UK and France, the source, who spoke on condition of anonymity, stated as Paris assists in the summit's organization. According to the publication, they acknowledged that the PM will speak with the leaders of the Baltic republics over the phone, but they said it was a poor alternative to them meeting with other delegates in person. Zelensky's public altercation with President Trump and his Vice President, J.D. Vance, in the Oval Office yesterday took place just hours prior. Vance confronted Zelensky and falsely accused him of never thanking the American people for its financial assistance, after the U.S. president accused him of gambling with World War III during the altercation. According to a No. 10 spokesperson, Sir Keir had a conversation with both leaders following the altercation. Sir Keir retains unwavering support for Ukraine, and is doing all he can to find a path forward to a lasting peace based on sovereignty and security for Kiev, according to Downing Street. According to BBC News, Zelensky and Trump were scheduled to sign a minerals agreement that would give Washington a say in Ukraine's destiny, but Trump has refrained from offering security guarantees. Now that the US's continued backing for Kiev appears to be in question, European leaders are rushing to make sure their nations can band together to assist Ukraine and discourage Putin. European leaders will explore ways to support Kiev at the conference, including a proposal to send an international reassurance force to Ukraine to help secure a truce during Washington-Moscow talks that have so far excluded Ukraine. Given the uncertainty surrounding the US's commitment to European security, they are also anticipated to talk on broader security. Trump has repeatedly described the armaments and funding it has given Ukraine as a financial burden on taxpayers, while his flattering remarks about Putin have alarmed his European friends. Accusing the US's closest allies of abusing Washington's security umbrella for years, he has also urged Europe to shoulder a far greater share of the defense burden. The streets of London were crowded on a chilly Sunday morning as European leaders from all over the continent assembled in the Prime Minister's residence's famous halls. A meeting devoted to Ukraine's future, a topic that had swiftly emerged as the central concern of European security, was organized by Sir Keir Starmer and carried considerable weight. Already in London, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was keen to fortify relations, mobilize support, and promote a unified front against Kremlin aggression. However, even in the high halls of power, there was a noticeable sense of tension despite the event's grandeur. The Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, were very unhappy about being left out of the crucial talks, according to a shocking disclosure from a diplomatic source to Sky News. These three countries, all former Soviet republics, had been left out of a conference that was supposed to represent a turning point for European unification. Not everyone was unaware of the diplomatic snub. Speaking on condition of anonymity, the insider raised an important concern: Russia, which is always eager to take advantage of Western divides, would undoubtedly notice that the Baltic states were not present at the conference. The Baltic region had been tense since Putin's aggressive actions in Ukraine, and the country had been a part of the Soviet Union until its disintegration in 1991. Despite being physically distant, Lithuania was just as vulnerable because it was sandwiched between Russia and Belarus, and Estonia and Latvia shared a lengthy border with Russia. These three nations were among NATO's largest defense expenditures in relation to GDP, and they had been outspoken backers of Ukraine since the conflict began in February 2022. According to the insider, their exclusion from the conference felt like a betrayal, a geopolitical affront that was impossible to overlook. Russia and our people will undoubtedly conclude that the United States, as well as the United Kingdom and France, have sold us out, the source continued. The nations that have long supported the opposition to Putin's aspirations now appear to be disregarding the opinions of those who are closest to the front lines. The pain of isolation wasn't limited to the Baltic states. Leaders in Europe were struggling with their own discomfort. The future of Ukraine was the main topic of discussion at the summit, but behind closed doors, the growing divide between the US and Europe had become a more pressing issue. The escalating hostilities between President Trump and Zelensky had already resulted in a public argument and a showdown in the White House that cast doubt on America's commitment to Ukraine. Trump had criticized Zelensky for not openly acknowledging American assistance and accused him of gambling with World War III. Europe was in a challenging position as a result of the rapid and noisy aftermath. Despite Sir Keir Starmer's unwavering support for Ukraine, it was evident that European leaders were frantically trying to put the past behind them. Originally intended to be a celebration of solidarity, the meeting had devolved into a diplomatic quagmire. Once seen as the pillar of European security, the US's stance had become erratic. Trump has continuously portrayed leaders including NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz were putting up a united front in the conference rooms. Ever the diplomat, Zelensky was attempting to heal the growing rift. After enduring the humiliation of the Trump dispute, he now found himself in the middle of a more subdued but no less powerful crisis: the deteriorating unity of the West. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.